Hey folks, welcome to NSYakfisher Outdoors. I'm Gary. Today I'm out on a little hot tent overnighter. I'm back on my kayak fishing team's home base of operations. You can sort of see the river and the beginnings of the Stillwater there a little bit behind me. One of the guys has been back since Hurricane Dorian, and there's quite a few trees down, so gonna try to help out with some of that tomorrow. Today will be about getting my camp ready and set up, and find some dry dead standing for the keep me warm tonight, because while it's not overly cold right now, it's gonna cool off tonight with chances of some rain or maybe a few flurries. Just depends on what side of 0 Celsius it happens to be. It's around 4 right now, so this road was impassable right after the hurricane, but they've cut it off the road so I could get in, or so guys can get in. You can see behind me a little bit of the aftermath and that. So anyway, hope you stay with me. It should be a good evening. A little bit of wood prep, and gonna be this time, instead of the OneTigris smoky hut, I'm gonna be using the Black Orca. I think it's the iron wall this time. I've seen it in use by one of my buddies that you may know, Lone Wolf 902. While the smoky hut worked fabulously and held up to the heavy snow, so did the iron wall. The iron wall is a bit more expensive, but has some advantages, especially if you plan on doing any of this shoulder seasons when there might be some bugs that are around. So anyway, I will show you a couple pictures of some of the down trees besides what's right behind me, and then I'm going to get down to my camping area and get that set up. So stay tuned, folks. So these were cut off so they wouldn't be out across the road, but you got a bunch of timber that came down there just a little over, maybe a month and a half ago now, right up by the roots. So on this side there is, there's some trees down everywhere. My buddy has a tent trailer up in here, and that took some damage during the hurricane, and had a big black spruce or white spruce, one of those, something like that, came down almost right on top of it. So definitely got some cleanup to do, some wood to cut, so we have firewood when we come out here in the coming years probably, and hopefully I'll be able to find some dry dead standing for the night. The mighty river is in there. Might try a few casts before I start setting up camp, but anyway, time to stop farting around and get some work done. Gotta at least try a cast or two before I get down to work. The river's flowing pretty quick. Water's cold. It's the end of November. So kind of unlikely that there'll be pickerel or bass in the river mouth, but you never know. Dark one. Oh, got something. Well, look at that, would you? A little tiny pickerel. And when I say tiny, I'm not joking. Got a fish anyway. Well, if a little one's aggressive, there could be a bigger one around. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. See behind me, the tent is now up. Started to rain out here, so it's getting pretty wet, and the wind is starting to pick up. It's supposed to go up to about 70 kilometers an hour tonight, so it's going to be fabulous. So I still have to put the ties on the sides, and then I'll start moving stuff in and get the stove in and get the bed made and stuff like that. Maybe I'll get a break in the rain to do some of that, but either way, got everything in dry bags, so we should be all right. And she went up fairly good. A little cantankerous with a few gusts of winds, but oh well, that's the way she goes. Anyway, back to work. So I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's raining pretty good outside. Downpours at times, and then just spit and mist the rest of the time. The wind is picking up, and it's been dark for about an hour, so I just fired up the stove. Gonna get that going good, and then I'll heat some water and have some supper. I was gonna do some deer steaks over the fire outside tonight, but I think I'll save that for either tomorrow or another day, depending on the weather. Anyway, that's the update for now. I'm going to lay around, stare at the fire for a bit, and just sit back and relax. Enjoy the sound of the rain on the tent. The G-stove's fired up. It's performing as usual. Even though I've seen the iron wall tent in use by Lone Wolf 902 Jeremy, I'm getting to see some of the differences from the smoky hut that I used last time. For the most part, I think I like the iron wall better. Definitely for shoulder seasons. And I'll do a little video at some point just going over some of the differences in what I think of both. Both have their advantages and disadvantages. I think for the iron wall, for me, it's a better tent than the smoky hut. However, there's some features of the smoky hut that I wish I had in the iron wall. So anyway, I'll go over that in another video, but for now I'm going to get warm and then cook some grub. Well, good morning, folks. It is probably somewhere around 7 o'clock in the morning. Been quite a wild night with heavy rains, and I can see looking around the sides of the tent that there was a little hail in that. A couple hours ago when I stuffed the fire, it was like -2 Celsius. Feel like was in the -10 area, but with the high winds and stuff, it's not very nice out there, from what I understand. It certainly doesn't sound all that good. So anyway, I don't know how much I'm going to get done today. Not really the day I was looking for a work day out here, but I guess at least start by getting a pot of water on the stove for some coffee. Anyway, get some coffee made and then start thinking about maybe having some breakfast. Again, the iron wall tent held up great during the night. High winds, and heavy rains, no water came in, so I stayed relatively warm. Certainly warm in the sleeping bag, and when I get the stove really fired up, she stays pretty toasty in here. So anyway, we'll get this coffee done and then fire on some bacon. Nothing like not having to get out, even out of the bunk to make bacon and eggs. That's a huge advantage of hot tenting, if you ask me. Ah, the good old sizzling of the bacon. Let's have a good breakfast. A little Montreal steak spice should do the trick. There we go. That combined with the little bit of bacon I did should be perfect. Let's see what this morning has. Well, the sun's out. Melted what snow came last night off. Okay. Still some heat coming off the smoky tent. Some ice and that on the sides. Alright. Well, time to start my day. So hi folks, I just finished up doing a bunch of cutting on the road to make sure we don't have hopefully not anything else fall on our road between now and next year. And I just wanted to do a little wrap up for today. Shouldn't be all overly long video. A lot of my time was spent with the power saw and that, or just really laying in the hot tent, but I can't say enough good about the iron wall tent. This was my first night staying in one and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's probably going to be the full-time hot tent for me as far as winter and the shoulder seasons. I'm going to do a comparison video with the Smoky Hut and just over my thoughts on the two, because they're both excellent tents. And again, the G stove, absolutely love having a stove in the tent and being able to cook especially. So I certainly enjoyed that, and I hope to have a little review video on that before too long. Anyway, I guess that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. I got to get things packed up here and start making my way home. So until next time, get out in the outdoors, do some fishing, hunting, hiking. Just get out and enjoy yourself. Take care all. Bye bye.